This episode uses an AI voice. Thank you for listening. Welcome. Today's episode is based on the book Along the Way. Our discussion comes from the section A Ride Through Time. Some journeys are more than a way of getting from one place to another. They become a chance to see how the world changes and how it chooses to remember its past. That is exactly what a journey across Delhi can teach us. Have you ever visited a place where the past and the future seem to exist side by side? Delhi has a special way of creating that feeling. The first thing you notice in Old Delhi is that time does not seem to move in a straight line. It winds through narrow lanes filled with the sound of rickshaw bells. It lingers beside old buildings and crowded markets. Shops continue selling the same sweets, fabrics, and brass utensils that families have known for generations. The past has not disappeared. It has simply made room for the present. I grew up in New Delhi, and over the years, I have watched the city change in uneven ways. Some places have transformed almost beyond recognition, while others still feel much the same as they did many years ago. The other day, we traveled from Gurgaon to Old Delhi. Even those two names tell a story. Gurgaon feels like a city built for the future. Tall office towers, modern apartments, and construction cranes fill the skyline. A few decades ago, much of this land was farmland. Today it shines with glass buildings, technology companies, and busy business districts. Old Delhi follows a very different rhythm. Not long ago, traveling between these two places often meant preparing yourself for heavy traffic. You either drove your own car or hired a cab, knowing that delays were almost certain. The expressway once felt like a great solution. It was smooth, fast, and modern. But cities have a way of growing faster than their roads. As more and more vehicles filled the streets, the journey became slower again. By the time you reached Old Delhi, you were often tired before your visit had even begun. Then came another challenge: finding a place to park. Above ground, much of the city still feels familiar. Cars crowd every road. Scooters find gaps that seem impossible. Cycle rickshaws continue their slow journeys. Street vendors call out to customers. Electrical wires stretch across the sky in tangled lines. Sometimes it feels as though time has decided to slow down. But that is only part of the story. Beneath the busy streets, another Delhi moves quietly underground. For a very small fare, you step away from the noise and enter the Delhi metro. The change feels almost magical. One moment you are surrounded by traffic and crowded streets. The next, you are standing in a clean, cool station where everything seems calm and organized. The train arrives exactly on time. The doors open smoothly. People from every part of the city travel together. Office workers look at their phones. Students carry backpacks. Elderly couples sit quietly beside one another. Within minutes, the noise of the streets disappears. There is something deeply moving about this contrast. The metro shows another side of Delhi. Trains arrive every few minutes. Digital displays guide passengers with ease. Places that once took hours to reach are now connected quickly and comfortably. Then the journey ends. You climb back into the sunlight and return to Old Delhi. The familiar sounds return. A bicycle bell rings nearby. A shopkeeper pours tea into small glasses. A porter carries a heavy load through the crowd. The air carries the smell of food, dust, and everyday life. Nothing around you looks futuristic. And yet, you arrived through the future. Perhaps that is the real story of Delhi today. The city has not left its past behind. Instead, it carries every chapter of its history together. Modern metro lines run beneath markets that have existed for centuries. Smartphones sit in the hands of people buying goods from shops that have served generations of customers. Travel from Gurgaon to Old Delhi, and you are doing more than crossing a city. You are traveling through different versions of time. Few places reveal that contrast so naturally. And perhaps that's what makes Delhi so unforgettable. Before you finish your day, think about your own city or town. What old traditions still live alongside modern life? Sometimes we become so familiar with the places around us that we stop noticing the remarkable stories they continue to tell. Thank you for listening. I hope today's story has given you something useful to think about. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to read more, the ebook, Along the Way, is available on Amazon Kindle.